Hey, what's going on guys? Nick here from Metalogic, and today we're going to go through how to create and implement a Gravity form on your website. We will do this both by embedding the code and then also with Elementor. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Alrighty, so you've already purchased your Gravity Forms plan, either the basic, pro, or elite version, depending on your needs. And what we need to do now is actually install the plugin from Gravity Forms and then upload it into the website we're going to use Gravity Forms on. So go from this home page here, click Downloads on your plan. And from Downloads, you're going to download this Made plugin here. Click Download, and it's going to be a zip file. And then what you'll do is on the website you want to download it on. Just go into the back end, go into Plugins, and from Plugins, click Add New Plugin, and then Upload Plugin. You want to grab the zip file, drop it into WordPress, and click Install Now. And then you'll see here on the left-hand side, let's activate it first. And now you'll see on the left-hand side, we have the Gravity Forms tab here. So we'll go into Forms, and then it's going to ask you to insert your license key. So we're going to go back into Gravity Forms, back into Licenses and Downloads, click whichever one of the plans you pre-purchased, go to Sites, and then you're going to want to copy this code here. Paste the code and activate the license. Then it'll ask you to enable auto updates, hide license information, etc. Let's go ahead and click Next. Select a website type. We'll do personal business. We want to use this for a contact form, potential surveys, subscription forms, and other. And then we'll do views. How do you want to integrate your services? Let's go ahead and click Next for that. No thanks, and create our first form. So now we're going to see the form template. So whatever one you choose, you can actually make it yourself and customize it. These are just a good place to start, and we'll have the same form fields as you would in a blank form or any other forms you choose. So we'll go ahead and do blank form. We'll do basic contact form. And the beauty of Gravity Forms is that it's all a drag and drop process here. So it's not too complicated in regards to building out the form. So we'll do, let's see, the most typical things we see is name, phone, and we'll do email. And the best part is, like, since it is drag and drop, you can make it make the form fields go below, to the right side, to the left side, on top, whichever you prefer. I'll just leave it at the right side for now. Name, phone, email. You can also do a file upload if it is a job application. Multi-select, we'll go ahead and show you how that works. So multi-select, you can go ahead and click Edit Choices. And then from here, you can go ahead and choose whatever choice you want. We'll go ahead and exit out that for now. And let's just go ahead and add a basic comment section. So go up to here, go to paragraph text, and that is going to be the bones of our form. What we can actually do in the form, or each of these form fields, is we can change the label name. So we do full name. We can enable or disable some of these. So we can go first. Instead of first, have last name only, include the middle name, get rid of all of these, whichever you want to do. Typically first and last is what most companies want to have, right? And then rules, so you can make all of these required, so they can't submit the form without enabling or filling out these form fields. You can also go to appearance, you can change the placeholder, the field size. If you want to go to advanced, you can do autocomplete, you can hide it, you can make it administrative or visible. And then conditional logic is essentially depending on what the user submits or how they answer a question, you can have it skip or essentially So let's go ahead and build a basic contact form that you most typically see on websites. So we'll start with the name. We will go with phone, and then we'll grab email. And again, the beauty of Gravity forms is that you can actually make it go on top of another form field, to the left of one, to the right of one. It's all drag and drop. You can even duplicate it from here if you would like to. So it's very simple building out forms. Let's go back to form fields and add a paragraph text. So typically you see these on a form field, right? First name, last name, phone, email, and then essentially, what's your concern or more information. So again, with Gravity forms, what they allow us to do is go ahead and edit various components of each form field. So we can go ahead and edit the form label. So we'll go ahead and do additional comments. You can add a description if you would like to. So please add more information here. Maximum characters, if you would like, you can kind of have a set max so people can't, keep yapping all over the place here. And then you can make it required and no duplicates. So we'll make all of these required because you want the most information possible from a form submission. You can change the appearance. You can add a placeholder, which is what appears inside each form field. So please type here. And you can change the form field or the field label visibility. So that's on top here. You can make it visible or hidden. It just depends on how you want it to look. So I think that looks fine if it just says please type here. It gives them some sort of instruction. You can add CSS, change the form field size. Scroll down to advanced here. You can change the visibility of the form field, which I would just leave visible for most people. And then you can add conditional logic, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So, let's say you're building a form with multiple checkbox options. We'll name this, let's go ahead and go choice 1, and we'll go choice 2. So this is really good if you're making a job application form or something of that sort. So let's say someone says, oh, I have a felony, crazy case scenario. So what you could do is you go to choice 2, go to conditional logic, enable. So let's say someone does say yes, they have a felony. You can go hide this field if any is, let's say choice 1 was yes. So choice 1 is first choice. So let's say this is, do you have a felony? Yes, no, maybe. And they select yes. What this would do is that this, if they select yes, would hide this form field. And then from that point on, they probably would be disqualified from the form. So that's how conditional logic works. With Gravity forms, you can't directly disqualify someone, at least not that I have shown or seen here. What you could do is you can hide the submit button. So let's say someone gets all the way through the form and it submits. You can't immediately disqualify someone. That's with my experience here. If you do know more, please put it in the comment section below. So we have our form field here, and we're going to save the form. And then we're going to go into settings. So here we are in this form settings. So you can change the title again here if you would like to. Add a form description that's describing the form to differentiate it from all the other forms you'd make. You can, again, change the label placement, the description placements, etc. And then required field indicator. What you can do, so if we go back here to the contact form you already have made, you can add these little asterisks. You can make it just say required as written out, or you can kind of add your custom one here. You can add a CSS class name to it. The form button is going to be in the form editor. You can, if it is a multi-step or multi-page form, you can enable save and continue so people can fill it out, take a break, come back to it if they need to, and then continue from where they left off. You can add restrictions. You can enable entry limit. You can schedule the form. So essentially what it means, like it says right here, is that what's going to happen is the form is only going to be available for a certain time. So if you kind of want to say, hey, sign up for this newsletter or sign up for my course, and at this date it's going to expire and no one can sign up again, that's when you would add that. And then if you want to add a login for people to use the form, that's how you would do it. And then form options again. So we'll start with animated transition. So if it is a multi-page step or multi-page form, I should say, you can just essentially make the transition between page 1 and page 2, page 3, all animated. And then anti-spam honeypot is just essentially what it sounds like. So if someone just continues to add forms and they just keep spamming you, what you would do is you would turn this on, and if they keep submitting and they flag it as spam, you can either A, not create another entry, or you can create another entry and then mark it as spam, so that way you can still see that they submitted the form. So once you do all that, you would click Save Settings, and then what we want to do is go into confirmation. So when someone does essentially submit the form, if you click Edit here, you can change what happens after submit. So you can either hit them with a message saying, "Hey, thanks for contacting us. We'll get in touch with you shortly," or whatever you would like to say here. It's going to be all on the same page. You can redirect them to another page on the website, right? Or redirect them to a page that's completely off the website. Those are the three options you do have. And then in notifications, we'll go ahead and leave. So under admin notification, you'll click edit. And this is where you're going to configure where you get all the form submission emails, right? So we'll just name it contact form submission. Send to enter email, select a field, or configure routing. We just typically do enter email. And we want to send it to a specific email, right? So typically the person who will handle all of our form submissions. So I'll just put me down for now. metallogicdesign.com. You can name the from, so it's going to be from, let's just say it's from Metalogic Design, or whatever your company is called. And then from email, we'll just do no reply at, and then you want to kind of grab the URL here. So we'll just go ahead and grab this. And then you can do reply to. So let's say that someone submits an email. What you can do is just reply to and then add the short code for, let's see, for email 11. So that way, when you do get a form, you can actually directly email the person that submitted the form straight from the email instead of having to copy the email, create a new email. It just kind of avoids that extra step. And you can add the subject line. So there'll be new contact form submission. And then Gravity Forms already puts all fields here, so you'll automatically get every field that's located on the form, and it'll populate in the email. So even in the notification settings, you can enable conditional logic. So you will send this notification if all or any of the following match. So we'll do any. And then I did add the felony field that we stated earlier. So have you ever been convicted of a felony? And we say no. That way, when someone does submit the form, they're not a felon and everything else checks out, then this email will send. If they select yes, then it will not send the notification to whoever we're sending it to. That's just an extra step to kind of weed out anyone who submits the form. So I'll go ahead and do update notification. And now we'll get into implementing it into our website. So we will do one way of embedding it using Elementor in WordPress, and we'll do the other one of just embedding the code and configuring it through there. So let's go ahead and do the Elementor one first. Okay, so if you want to go the Elementor route and implement Gravity Forms that way, here's what we are going to do. We're going to download a new plugin. So scroll down to plugins on the left-hand side. Let's move my face here. Plugins. Add new plugin, and then we're going to look up essential add-ons, and it's going to be this first plugin right here, essential add-ons for Elementor by WP Developer. Click install now, and then we want to activate it. And on the left-hand side here, you're going to see essential add-ons. And from here, we're going to go into Elements, and we're going to scroll all the way down to Form Styler Elements. And if you are using Contact Form 7, this even works for that too. You'll just toggle on Gravity Form, click Save Settings. All right, and I'll show you already configured on our website here. So here is the page you saw before, but this is how we added the form. So we're going to look up in our elements, Gravity Forms, see by EA, Essential Add-ons. We'll drag it onto or into the column we want to use it on. Select the form, so the Contact Us page form. And here we can disable the title, so that will be this bad boy right here. I want no titles, no descriptions. I want to keep the labels. And from here, we can kind of style it however we want. So real quick, we'll just go ahead and show you a few basic things. So labels, we'll change the text color to white so it's easier to see. We can even change the typography. So you have a list of all of your fonts on the website. You can change the weight, you can change the letter spacing, however you want to customize it. And then you can go ahead and you can also change the submit button. So go to submit button, click that. And down here, we can do the same exact thing. We make the width a certain amount of pixels here, or we can do a percentage. So we'll just do 100%. We can change the background color of the form fields. We can go ahead and change the hover color. And essentially, we just play around with this. And then once you've done that, you'll click publish and it'll be configured just how you want it to be. I don't want to bore you and do this whole thing, but that is the process of how to edit the styling of your form in Elementor and WordPress. So now let's go ahead and just grab the embedded code and do it that way. So to embed the form on your website, it's going to take a little bit of CSS, but it's actually very simple just to embed the form itself. What you will do is go back into your Gravity form. Go into Edit, and then you'll see this Embed button up here. Scroll down to Copy Shortcode, and we'll go to our page, and we will add the shortcode however you decide to do it. I'll just go ahead and use Elementor because that's what we use. Paste the shortcode, and then here is just going to be the most basic form and styling you can imagine for what we've created so far. We'll go to publish. And then since I'm not very good at coding, and I'm not sure if you are, but we'll just go ahead and use ChatGPT and say, I am building a form on Gravity Forms. Here is the embedded code. And you'll say, I would like the font to be Roboto Light, however many pixels you want it to be. The submit button, blue at full length, and the spacing between the fields to be, let's see how closely spaced they are. They're pretty close, so let's go ahead and just do 20 pixels. And then from here, it'll spit out some CSS, and then I'll show you how to add that to your form. All right, so you're going to copy the shortcode once it's given out to you. You're going to save the page, go back to your website, and then from here, we'll go to Appearance. Let's move myself again. Appearance, Customize. Click Additional CSS. And what we'll do is we will add our code here and click Publish. So what this will do is now when we go back to the page, it should have changed some of the appearance of our form field. So we'll go to YouTube Gravity Form, View, and we can see here, again, it's changed. The spacing has increased from each of the form fields. Our blue submit button is now full length. If you want to hide the title, you would just go back into ChatGPT, say, please hide the title. Again, copy the CSS, and then do the same steps over and over until you kind of figure out and you've gotten it right. But essentially, guys, that is how to implement and use Gravity Forms on your website. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will be back next week to give you another YouTube tutorial. And until then, guys, I will see you later.